your trading floor.
Well,
let's talk about why traders fail.
it's my favorite subject. Well, it is, okay, because it's the most understood factor of trading is that most traders do fail, and there's a very simple reason for that. Traders spend so much of their time on understanding strategies and understanding how to read charts. They never really learn how to become a trader. And there's a very big difference between being an actual successful trader and just somebody who couldn't understand what's happening in the market. The difference is your ability to execute, okay? So there is a huge difference between being able to analyze a market, look at charts, come up with trading ideas and trading strategies, okay? That's the easy part, right? The hard part is making sure that you execute that strategy and that trading plan correctly all the time, okay? That's what separates the winners from the losers. So I like to use a little football analogy when it comes to this, okay? And most of the people out there listening to this will understand what I'm talking about. And let's take the idea of a professional football quarterback, or even a college quarterback, okay, who's looking to transition to the pros, okay? Every one of these guys are athletic specimens. They all are big, they all are strong, they all have bullet rifle arms, they're all fast, they can all, do all of the things necessary, okay? But where does the drop-off happen? The drop-off happens because they don't have the ability, not everybody has the same ability to execute the game plan that the coaches put in place. So that's really critical. So if you're a pro quarterback, yes, you may be able to make all the throws and you may be big and strong, you may be able to run in the pocket, okay, but when you get behind the center and you have a play to call and you have to look at what the defense is doing, now it's time to execute. When you drop back to pass, you have to be able to see and understand and process what's happening in the defense. That's executing. And then you have to be able to complete the pass or a proper handoff, okay? So executing is incredibly important. It's the most difficult thing to do, and it's the area where a trader loses all the time.
So you talked about technical analysis, which is identifying the opportunity.
Yeah.
What are the other skills that the trader needs to execute?
Money management. Money management. Sure. Well, money management is the single biggest thing that really traders have to understand and work on. Okay, and it's really not a very difficult thing to grasp as long as you do have the tools. Okay, you must remember as a trader that your account is your business, and the only way to go out of business is to lose your trading account. So you must protect that trading account at all costs. Okay, with the utmost care. Risk is the first thing you should be looking at on any trade or any potential investment opportunity is what am I risking?
And how do you define that in currency trading?
Well, by risk, the easiest way to do it is you understand, first it's a math question, okay? You have to understand the size of your account and what you're willing to risk on any individual trade as it relates to the size of the account. A very prudent thing would be to risk no more than 2 to 3% of your account. So if you have a $1,000 trading account, you won't risk more than $20 to $30 on any one particular trade, okay? Now, that's easier said than done, all right? But that's a starting point that you have 3%. So now you know you're gonna risk 30%. The next thing you have to do is you have to identify your trading strategy and potential trading opportunities from that strategy. But as you're analyzing a trade, the first thing you have to do is, okay, if I'm wrong, where do I know I'm going to be wrong? Okay, what's my stop loss? All right, you can't possibly think about getting into a trade unless you know before you get into the trade where you're going to put your stop loss.
And it's a fixed level. No discretion is exercised afterwards.
No. That's a decision that must be made prior to getting into the trade, and it should never be messed with once you're already in a trade. Because what happens is, once you're in a trade, your mind, your psychology, your emotions start to take over, okay? You don't want to be making trading decisions in the heat of the battle as your account or positions is going up or down. That's not when you want to make your decisions. You want to make your decisions with a clear head before you get into the trade. This is where I'm going to be out if I'm wrong. It must be done.
Would you describe that almost as black box? Well, it's set and forget almost.
Well, yeah, and
it's when you're starting off.
And I like to talk about man versus machine.
Yeah.
And why do machines do better than man when it comes to trading? Well, machines don't have any emotions, and machines have their built-in rules that they're going to follow. So if they know going into a trade that they're going to risk 2% of their account, they know before they get into the trade where their stop loss is going to be, and then it's set and forget it. Let it happen, okay? Because if you go in and you start to mess with it, you are much more likely than not to be able to compound an error and turn a potentially very good trade, or one that's not a great trade but with an acceptable loss, into either a losing trade or a trade that loses a lot more than you intended.